You know that feeling when you pick something up and it just feels right? And then there are those other times, probably more often, where you're fighting with an object that seems designed to make your life harder. Well, today, we're going to decode the secret language of good design. We're going to find out why some products just work and why others, well, why they don't.
All right, so we're all surrounded by things, all day, every day, which means we're also surrounded by these tiny, and sometimes not so tiny, design failures. They're the source of that constant, low-level frustration we all know so well.
It's the big question, isn't it? The one you ask yourself out loud when you're annoyed. Why is this so hard to use? What were they thinking? It's that huge gap between a product that solves your problem and a product that becomes your problem.
Oh, this is a classic. You get a new travel mug, you're all set for your morning coffee, you hop in the car and… nope, it doesn't fit. The one place it's supposed to live during your commute, it can't. It's such a simple miss, but it makes the mug pretty much useless for its main job.
Well, what about this one? A pair of headphones that sound amazing, but are literally painful to wear. That's a design that has completely ignored the fact that a human being, with a human-shaped head, is supposed to use it. These aren't just little annoyances, they're total failures of a really basic design rule.
So, what is the secret? What separates those brilliant, intuitive designs from the frustrating ones? Turns out it all comes down to one single, really powerful idea that applies to everything from a spoon to a spaceship.
And here it is, fitness for purpose. That's the secret sauce. It's the most important concept in all of design, and it asks a really simple question. Does this thing actually do the job it was made to do? If the answer is no, then it doesn't matter how pretty it is or how clever it seems. The design has failed.
This is the ultimate test, right? Here, an umbrella can be made of carbon fiber and look amazing, but if you walk outside in the rain and you get wet, it's not fit for purpose. It's a failure. It's that simple, and it's the one thing a designer can never, ever forget.
Okay, so how do designers actually make sure their products pass this test? Well, they don't just cross their fingers and hope for the best. They start with a kind of checklist, a series of essential questions that guides every single decision they make.
It all kicks off right here, with what are called functional requirements. This is just the non-negotiable list of things a product absolutely has to do. To make this super clear, let's use a simple backpack as our example for the rest of this explainer. What must a backpack do?
So, a designer will basically make two lists. First, you've got your essential list. For our backpack, it must be able to hold things and it must be wearable on a person's back. That's the bare minimum. Then you have the desirable list. Stuff like a padded laptop sleeve, or maybe waterproof fabric, or a little clip for your keys. The final design has to nail everything on the essential list while trying to pack in as many of those desirable features as possible.
But just knowing what a product needs to do is only half the story. A product doesn't exist in a lab. A real person has to use it. And that brings us to the next absolutely crucial layer, designing for actual human beings.
Right. It's not enough for our backpack to just hold stuff. It needs to work for the user. That means really understanding their needs and literally the shape and size of their body. And this is where science steps in. And this is the special tool designers use. It's called anthropometric data. I know, it sounds super complicated, but all it really means is the science of measuring people. By understanding the huge variety of human shapes and sizes, designers can make things that are actually comfortable, safe, and easy to use, and avoid that whole pinching headphones problem we talked about earlier. So, in the real world, for a backpack, this means using data on people's torso lengths to create different sizes like small, medium, and large. It means looking at the average hand size to make sure the zippers are easy to grab. It means studying human posture to design shoulder straps that won't wreck your back. It's all about making the design fit the human, not asking the human to fit the design. But even if a product works perfectly and it fits its user like a glove, we're still not done. Because every single product gets launched out into the real, messy world, and a good designer has to think about that too.
Honestly, the whole process of creating something is this massive balancing act. A designer is constantly juggling a huge number of things that are all pulling in different directions. Everything from the price of materials to whatever's trending on social media that week.
Let's go back to our backpack one last time. Who are we selling it to? Is it a student who needs something cheap and durable, or a professional who wants something sleek and stylish? That one question changes everything. The economy will decide the price, Consumer demand might push for recycled materials. And of course, fashion and aesthetics determine whether it looks cool or like something from 10 years ago.
And then there are the physical realities. What materials are you going to use? Where do they come from? How well does this thing need to perform? Is it for a light daily commute or for climbing a mountain? That dictates its durability. Every single choice, from safety features to the type of dye used, has a consequence. And this right here has become one of the most important design questions of our time. A modern designer has to think about the product's entire life, what kind of pollution is created when it's made, and maybe most importantly, what happens to this thing when you're done with it. Good design today has to mean designing for a sustainable future.
So, the next time you use a tool that just feels perfect in your hand, or you sit in a chair that's unbelievably comfortable, just pause for a second. A good design is really just a series of problems that have been silently and elegantly solved for you. What you're feeling isn't an accident, it's a product that is truly and beautifully fit for its purpose.